I don't have an intro. In fact, I'm not gonna do an intro for this. I want to talk to you guys. I want to put it out there. I want to give my express my emotions, just like the rest of us have been over the last 12 hours that are part of this community. So, and you may be wondering what's going on if you can't tell by the title of the video, or you've managed to not be on social media in the last 12 or so hours. The creator of Dragon Ball, You Toriyama, has passed away. This is not a joke. It's not a hoax. It's not somebody playing a terrible early April's Fool's joke. No, it's official. I'll put it on the screen right now. This is the official release statement by the Dragon Ball official Twitter. And at the bottom, you can see that it says Bird Studios and Capsule Corporation Studios. These are studios that worked with Toriyama closely. Oda and Kishimoto, the creators of One Piece and Naruto, they've put out their official statements. Hopefully I can remember to put them on the screen. This news has just rocked the world because, Dragon Ball wasn't just a very popular series in Japan. It was a very popular series globally. It was a very popular series everywhere. Anyone and everyone knew Dragon Ball. Even if they didn't watch anime, they're like, yeah, I've heard of Dragon Ball. Yeah, I've heard of Goku. Yeah, I've heard of Super Saiyan. Everyone knows this. My family, I'm one of like 3 people in my whole family that watch anime. But my whole family knows about Dragon Ball. Not just because of me, but because it's so popular that anywhere you go, Dragon Ball. Toriyama created a series that I don't even think he ever anticipated it to be as wildly popular as it is. And he didn't. He was a very closed off and very not conservative, but a man that liked to keep to himself. So he never really saw how crazy popular Dragon Ball was. He didn't get online. He didn't look for any of this stuff. He did his own thing, and that was it. So he never really saw how immensely popular his series was and what it meant to so many people. Words cannot describe how painful this is. Because last time I felt this painful about a celebrity's passing was 2 years ago with Jason David Franks or Tommy Oliver from the Power Rangers series. I had wanted to meet that man since I was a kid because I was a Power Ranger fan and I always loved Tommy. And I never got to. And he, about a week or so before he passed, he was in town where I live at a convention and I was just unable to go. And, I had a friend that went and she was going to get an autograph and a picture for me, but, she had her own stuff going on too. And she told me, she's like, I'm sorry, I couldn't get to it. His line was really long. I was like, it's okay. It's okay. Like, understandable. You have your own stuff too. Like, I'm not going to force you to keep that. And then, a week later, find that out. That broke me. And that took me a little while to truly come to grips with that one. But this is hard. This is really, really hard because Toriyama created a series that not just myself, but so many people loved. It's still loved. I rewatch the series yearly. I'm probably one of the few people in the entire Dragon Ball fandom that actually rewatches this series yearly. And it's not just because I love it so much, but it's also because I always rewatch it. There's always something that you might miss. And it always excites me to rewatch it. I always rewatch it so I can learn something that I maybe didn't learn or catch the time before. And I just really loved Dragon Ball. I just enjoy it. For all its faults, for all its imperfectness, I still love it. And it will always hold a special place in my heart as being my favorite anime of all time. I mean, you can tell partially from the image right now of the office. You know, back behind me, this is the bookshelf that has all of my manga and DVD collections. I have up there at the very top. I have the individual. I have all 42 volumes individually of Dragon Ball, all the way to Z. Underneath it, Super, which I don't have fully completed yet. I have Toriyama's History of Dragon Ball. Beside it is the manga theater book that if you haven't ever grabbed that or you're curious what it is, it's a collection of all of Toriyama's other comics that he's ever done. That's a fantastic, fun, enjoyable ride if you've never done it. You know, beside that is not just a collector special edition type of issue of the very first Dragon Ball. You know, even close to that one, you can't see, but it's right beside. I have a bunch of the comic book versions of Dragon Ball. Like you have the manga versions, but like you know how most when you look at a normal Western comic book, it's all paper and all of that. I have right over here in this corner right here. This is all multiple different issues of those comic versions of the series, and then underneath it right here, this section right here is all of the 3-in-1s, the uncensored, uncut 3-in-1s of the series, which starts from Dragon Ball, goes all the way to the end of the story. You know, all 42 volumes rolled into the 3-in-1 for each volume, and then underneath that is the Viz Big version of the series, which is from Dragon Ball all the way to Z. So I have multiple versions of the manga. Beside it is I have a couple versions of a graphic novel, the graphic novel version of the manga, and then right here where my thumb's at, this is all the this is the Saiyan Saga and the Frieza Saga, the colored manga versions. So like I have all of that, and then of course underneath it, I have not just Dragon Ball on DVD. I have Kai on DVD. I have the Orange Bricks on DVD. I have Blu-ray on DVD. I have the Blu-rays on DVD. I have Dragon Ball GT on DVD. I have the movies. I have a certain version of the movies. I have individual versions of the movies. I have so much stuff over here. I'm a fan. I've been a fan my whole life. You know, this whole section is full of my figures. When I have artwork all along the walls, as you can tell. You know, we'll just ignore that mess over there that my daughter left. This series meant so much to me. You know, it was a series that taught me how to keep going in the face of adversity. It was a series that taught me that, hey, even if you lose, you only lose if you admit and it can give up, you know. So what if you didn't win that fight? Stand up, brush yourself off, train harder, and keep going. Never give up on yourself, because if you give up on yourself, you've given up on everything. But if you never give up on yourself, you've never truly lost. And you can always improve yourself. That's the other thing I took from the series. You can always improve yourself. You're never perfect, and that's okay. You can always improve yourself in some way. You know, oh, you want to start working out? Well, just start walking. You know, you do something one day that you didn't do the day before, you've accomplished something. Just keep pushing yourself, strive for your best self, and you will achieve that goal. You know, don't like do anything crazy, but push yourself to be your best self, and you'll achieve it. Unless you are truly like Goku, where it's like, you know, I'll never be truly satisfied with it because I always have something else to learn or grow from. And honestly, that's a fantastic mentality to have. I can always grow and learn from it. I can always grow and become better the next day. And that's how I took this series, and that's how I allowed this series to influence me going forward. Because anything I look at from that perspective of, yes, I can always get better. I can always grow better. I can always learn more. I can always study more. I can always be better. You know, and it's the same thing I teach my daughter. I tell her, you can always learn more. You may not learn something on day one, but on day two, you might learn something new. Always strive to keep learning because you'll never be able to learn enough. You know, you want to push yourself to be your best self. Push yourself. Because you can always, as long as you keep pushing yourself, you'll find your best self. And when you find your best self, you may go, you know what? Tomorrow I can be even better. Tomorrow I can be even stronger. Tomorrow I can be even faster. Tomorrow I can be even smarter. And that's the words that I basically took from Goku. I know he never outright said those words, but that's the inspiration that I took from Goku, from Dragon Ball, from Toriyama. I know we've all done it before. I know I did it as a kid. I know so many of us my age and older did it as a kid. We all try to go Super Saiyan. We all try to go do the Kaioken. We all used, you know, Kaioken under those dev moments where we just need that little extra push. We've all done it. We all wanted to go Super Saiyan. We all wanted to do the instant transmission, do the Kamehameha. We all wanted to do it. We've all tried to do it, and let's be honest, there's no shame in that. This series meant so much to so many people. And now that Toriyama is gone, it does leave a hole in our hearts. And it's okay to cry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be hurt. It's okay to need some time to really soak that in. And it is perfectly okay. But I want to leave you guys with, and girls, I was just turn a phrase. Nobody get upset. I just want to leave y'all with this. I didn't want to make this video too long. I know tons of different videos are coming, but I just didn't want to make this one too terribly long. Yes, it is sad that he's gone, but let's celebrate everything he gave us. Let's celebrate all of this that he gave us. Let's celebrate all the memories, all the friends, all the special times, all the over-the-top moments where we try to go Super Saiyan and do the ki blast, do the hype moments where we're standing in the room, we're jumping down and we're cheering for Goku, for Gohan, for everybody to get that win, to beat that bad guy. Let's celebrate everything Toriyama brought us. If you're a fan of Dr. Slump, let's celebrate Dr. Slump. If you're a fan of Chrono Trigger, if you're a fan of Dragon Quest, if you're a fan of Blue Dragon, he worked on all of those. Mostly character design, but you know, he worked on it. Celebrate that stuff. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball, which I am fairly certain most of you are that see this video, let's celebrate Dragon Ball. Go rewatch Dragon Ball if you haven't rewatched it. Go reread Dragon Ball if you haven't rewatched it. Like I rewatch it yearly. And finishing my rewatches is going to be tough, but I'm going to enjoy every moment now even more to celebrate my love and my appreciation and my adoration for Toriyama giving us this fantastic series. For all of its faults, for all of its imperfectness, I still love it. I still think it's an amazing series. It's still my #1 favorite series, and we should all do that. It is sad that he's gone, but let's celebrate everything that he gave us. Let's appreciate, love, and shout out our appreciation and love for everything that Toriyama gave us. And to wrap up this video, I just want to leave you guys all with the Turtle Hermit Way of Life quote, because I don't think anyone embodied that quote more than Toriyama. And the quote, or the way of life, should I say, it's not really a quote, but the way of life is move well, study well, play well, eat well, rest well. That is the Turtle Hermit Way. And like I said, I don't think anyone embodied that more than Toriyama. Thank you so much for giving Dragon Ball to the world, Toriyama. Thank you so much for allowing all of us to enjoy your imagination and your idea and your story brought to life. I'm glad that you were able to bless us that, and I wish you could have truly seen how incredibly impactful and beloved your series is when you were on with this world, when you're on this world with us. But I hope now from above, you can see us and see just how much Dragon Ball meant to not just me, but to so many others. You know, my drive to learn things and grow things and be my better self each and every day, I owe to you and your character of Goku. Those moments when I felt down and felt like I couldn't keep going, but I found the drive to stand back up and keep going, I owe that to you and Dragon Ball. I owe a lot of my passion and my drive to you and to Dragon Ball, and I know a lot of people feel the exact same way. Thank you, Toriyama, so much for this wonderful series and for everything you brought to us. And as a fan, I wish I had had the chance to meet you, but you know, a fan can dream, right? A fan can dream. But to quote Goku, with some slight paraphrasing here, goodbye, Toriyama. See you again someday.